We are live. You know me. When it's time, it's time. I know I mentioned on our program that it was going to be. I believe it was 2 days ago. Huh? Forgive me. I know some of you
Yes.
messages. I know some of you texts. But we just got an opportunity now with our beautiful Gwendolyn Tuaitanu. Gwendolyn,
Tuaitanu.
correct me, Tuaitanu. Correct me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Tuaitanu, the beautiful Tuaitanu, Gwendolyn Tuaitanu. We're gonna keep a moment to go ahead and talk about herself. Introduce herself. Gwendolyn, forgive me, I thought you were in California. Where are you residing now?
I reside in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oops.
You're
Oh
fine.
boy. So Gwendolyn, are you married? If you don't mind me asking this question, are you married?
I do have children, recently divorced. I have 4 beautiful babies. One is 13, and then I have twins that are 11 and a 10-year-old.
Amazing, Gwendolyn. I know our time is limited. Gwendolyn, how do you tackle being a mother, a role model, and an entrepreneur?
How do I tackle it? I don't feel like I'm tackling it. I feel like prioritizing different things. And the good thing about it is my family is a huge support, and my kids are a great support. They are on board with everything that I'm doing. So they understand when I'm not home, and when I am home, it's all of their time. And so I feel like just prioritizing different things, we eventually get it all done.
That's a great answer, right? Because prioritizing, it's a challenge to a lot of us. I'm guilty too. Prioritizing. What an amazing answer. Yeah, our level up for our Samoan speaking o leo fatasimai letimai taila lele nego Gwendolyn Tuaitanu. Gwendolyn sa abea o ia mamisa le tausanga lua pe malvalo. Uliela tuatila mloane ya Gwendolyn, if she knows how to speak the language, she can tell us ofea o Samoa it is that way ya Gwendolyn.
Yeah, pop time when they have a Noah. But I can understand it very well. My dad, he comes from Upolu, from Salemoa, Fa'ala Palauli, and also my mother comes from Tutuila, so she comes from Nu'uli, and we also cover a lot of other islands in Manua and Leonge. So I'm definitely deep-hearted in all of Samoa.
Gwendolyn, when was the last time you were in Samoa?
The last time I was in Samoa was in 2010, so it's been a while. I was there for my grandmother's funeral, and I'm gonna make my comeback this year, so I'll definitely be there this year in the summer.
2010, there is so much change. There's so many changes in Samoa. Beautiful, so many things that's going on. There's so many, the culture, there's so many, just like the malu or tatau. Now there's so many people that are getting the tatau and the malu. That's one of the things that's changing now with the culture. Usually in those days, remember in those days that I believe, I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to make it look silly, because I really am not sure about it. I think in those days you have to get a permission from the high chief or something like that to get a malu or a tatau. So those are a lot of changes that's going on in Samoa. But Gwendolyn, the question, I know that 2008 you were you're a former Miss Samoa USA. It's been a while. It's been a while now. We don't have a Miss Samoa USA. What's going on?
That's a great question. I feel like a lot of the leadership from the Miss Samoa USA, a lot of things that happened, and I'm possibly, again, I'm guessing time commitment and not, it's a lot of funding and I'm not sure why there wasn't a consistent pageant afterwards. Um, Life got to me, and so I had a family, was very involved in my own personal life, and I think it's in due time. Right now, I feel like it's been long overdue, and so that's why I am determined to make sure that there's a Miss from America that goes every single year, and I promise that to the public, to America, to Samoa, and so I'm very excited to be starting this new journey.
So, Gwendolyn, do you think it's about time?
Oh,
Do you
yes.
think that we should have Miss Samoa USA by next year?
Yes, we actually are doing a Miss. So there is a Miss Samoa USA right now. I believe they're being held in Vegas. Roleni Toffee, who was doing the Miss Samoa USA, is also doing that as well. Right now, I actually created my own called the Miss Tausala America, something that I felt would lean more on me and comes from a lot of my experience and a lot of what I feel is necessary for a pageant and what we're trying to grow with this program. And so I'm actually holding a Miss Tausala America that's being held here in Utah. We are having a pageant in July, and we have girls from all over America who are joining in. And we plan on taking our Tausala America to Samoa this year. So you will see her representing America at the Tuila Festival.
So the headquarters, you're mentioning the headquarters will be in Utah,
Yes.
right? But it's all over the state. So if you're listening and if you want to be a part of it, don't look at me, it's all right. So the headquarters, it's going to be in Utah. And if you're listening and if you want to be a part of it, if you want to become a Miss Samoa USA, hey, we got beautiful Gwendolyn here. She is the one who's running that platform. So Gwendolyn, what is your game plan for the Tausala Miss Samoa USA? How would you market it?
So right now for the Tausala America, we're pretty much, I've reached a lot of the different states. So we have ambassadors from each of the states who actually are more involved with their community, and they've been getting out and letting everyone know that we are combining forces so we can, I guess, so we can have more unity as America and eventually take the winner of all of our states to Samoa. So we've been doing a lot of marketing through our ambassadors. We've been getting the word out, holding different things, so that way everyone is aware of what we're doing.
It takes money, it takes time, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of time, right?
It does.
It takes a lot of that to do all of that. You mentioned a word that really is very important: unity. Did you think that's a reason why? I mean, we're talking online. This is a media we can just open up, and maybe someone who's listening that can learn from it. You mentioned something, unity. Did you think that was one of the reasons why the Miss Samoa shut down in those years?
I feel a lot of different states, they have their different programs. And I wanted to shout out a lot of the different states that actually have established programs, like Henry, who is in Hawaii, also Henry Liufau, who's in Alaska. There's a lot of people in the states that have beautiful young women who've actually won the Miss Samoa for their particular state. My goal for creating this as a whole was for those other states who actually don't have anything established, like Texas, who are they're just barely starting their program. There's also Washington, who had it, but they're not really at that stage to where they can have it. So this program was to try and bring more unity for those others who haven't been established or don't have girls, so we can come together as one and show, the strength and the authenticity that we have here in America. So that was the whole reasoning behind creating the Tausala America here in the US.
This is a hearsay, dare say. Maybe I'm just being too nosy. You can say, yes, of course, she's very Faikala, but I'm going to say this. I've heard something. Someone said, or I saw it online, media said, they said, okay, now they're allowing male women, okay, Papa Finger, to run the pageant. What, okay, tell me, is that true? Or what is your concern about that? What is your opinion about it?
For Mel to run, for Fafa Finger to run in the Miss Samoa pageant, I don't believe it's a thing right now. I do know that a lot of the Fafa Fingers have their own. I know they just had Miss Utopia in Washington, beautiful Fafa Finger that just won
Mm-hmm.
there. There's quite a few Fafa Finger pageants, and they're running it themselves. I feel like that's what's so great about being a Samoa is, yes, we have a lot of Fafa Fingers in our country, and we love and support them wholeheartedly. But I have yet to come across a pageant anywhere where a Fafafinge tries to run in the the Miss pageant. They usually go to their Miss Fafafinge pageant, and there's all respect, when it goes around. It's kind of like a common sense that we have in our country, in our communities, and we love and respect each other that way. So I, again, if you know of anyone, I like I said, I've yet to come across a pageant where I've seen a Fafafinge run for a Miss Samoa LA or Miss Samoa in general.
Yeah, like I mentioned, it's a hearsay, there say,
Yeah.
like you say, you can say I'm very Faikala, but I'm just throwing that question out there.
Hey, no, you're fine.
Okay, there's something, I know someone is going to be listening, and someone who might, who will be probably qualified to run for the Miss Samboy USA. What are the qualities, Gwendolyn, that you're looking for in your platform? What are the qualities that you're looking for in that lady to become the winner of the Miss Samboy USA?
So I feel like for qualification, we're really looking for someone who has some kind of Samoan descent in them, Samoan blood. They have to be, of course, a female, and then they also have to possess a talent, a certain talent, so that way they can share more of, be a more of service to Samoa. Another thing that is really important is lelelang, ng kaukala, that they can actually speak and express their feelings in a way that is very articulate and clear, so everyone understands, because they'll they'll be the representative for a big community, for a nation, for a country. So you want to make sure that they can definitely get their point and opinions across in a clear manner. And I think that's one of the main things that we're looking for, is someone who's very strong, who knows who she is, and is also able to express it, whether it be through talent, through voice, through song, and also through speech.
No, like I mentioned before, this is another hearsay. Some women thinks that you have to be beautiful. You have to be physically looking beautiful to become a Miss Samoa, or to be in a beauty pageant. What would you say about that? I mean, as a former reigning Miss Samoa USA, what would you say about that?
I would say yes, beauty definitely has to be a part of it, because you are representing a country. But I feel, and again, this is me and my own feelings. When I ran, there were so many beautiful young women that I felt I never stood a chance against, because they were just gorgeous, gorgeous women. And I felt that the more that I participated in the pageant, the more that I got to learn more of my heritage, my upbringing, where my family's from, be fully immersed in the country and everything that it involved. It actually bring more of a beauty outwards. So if you actually look at my pageants, you can actually see, towards the end, you can kind of see somewhat of a glow. And I'm not just bragging, it's because I'm actually really realizing who I really am. And that in itself actually bring a lot more beauty to to what I brought on stage, a lot more confidence because I actually could stand up and say, I am a real Samoa. I am Samoa. My family's here. My roots are here. And I'm here to show you what I have that I can actually represent Samoa in the way that I was brought up, and that's as a Samoa. And so, to answer your question, yes, beauty has a huge part to play in it. And you obviously have to be physically fit, but it's only because we want you to serve a lot more. And I feel throughout the process, we'll bring a deeper beauty to a lot of what you already bring initially.
You answered you answered my next question, and it came to mind. One of the contestants from last year during Moimwana's, contest during Moimwana's time, and she was, no, she couldn't speak, right? She
Mm.
was deaf, and what an encouragement to a lot of women. Don't you think? What an encouragement. Beautiful personality, knowing that she has that disability and she's still running. It's just really encourage a lot of young women, no matter what you are. I mean, if you got something, show it to the world. You got a
Mhm.
talent, show it to the world. But you answer, what are the other things that you learned during your reign of Miss Samoa that you are still Miss USA Samoa, that you are still carrying with you throughout life?
One of the things that I learned a lot is how to really conduct yourself, as a Samoan woman. There's maybe it's just what I was brought up to, but um, a lot of I just learned more about myself when I was in Samoa. You know, uh, it made me have more passion for what I was doing, more motivation, inspiration to actually keep working hard, so that way whatever I did, I would always represent Samoa everywhere I went. And so I felt throughout my reign in Samoa, it really helped me have more, again, understanding and longing to really help my people. And the only way that I could do that is by helping myself, by by building myself in a manner that was, where I was able to, again, represent Samoa wherever I went.
Even though you were ground in 2008, of course it lasts a year, right? I
Hmm.
believe that you still feel like you're carrying the ground wherever you go because you still get that respect.
Hmm.
People still look at you. Women are still looking at you to encourage them and to be that role model to them. And do you still feel like that?
I do feel like that. I feel like everywhere I go, a lot of people still know me as the former Miss Samoa or Miss Samoa USA. And again, once you win it, you have this title, this standard to uphold. And so wherever you go, you just carry that wherever you go. It's kind of like, your last name. When your family builds your last name, you carry that everywhere you go, and you don't want anything to tarnish that name. And that's how I feel. And so everything that I did in life, I always kept that to the side of me or behind me, thinking, this is the title I held. I have my family's name as well. And I tried my best throughout life to not tarnish it.
Mm. Well, I know, we went through a lot of question about the Miss Samoa. Gwendolyn, what are you doing now?
What am I doing now? That's a good question. So right now, not only do I work, I'm a flight attendant, I also help my father run his own business. And then I also am a mother to my 4 kids. I also founded the Nafanua Foundation, which is a foundation we're building for our young women. And in that, we also have the Miss Tel Sal America pageant that we are running here in Utah. So it's a lot of things that we're doing, all great things to try and build and encourage our Samoan young women here in America.
It's amazing. Gwendolyn, we, the era that we're living now, the strength of the AI and the technologies right now nowadays. In those days, before the days you became the Miss Sambo USA, nowadays, what is the difference? What do you see the difference now between the women in those days and the young women now?
The back then it was very different. A lot of times I try and find a lot of photos and videos, and it wasn't a thing back then with social media, which takes a huge precedence right now in our society. And so that's what's very different, is that there's a lot of online streaming with different with with I guess fashion was a thing before then. Right now, it's also a huge thing. I'm trying to think. It's mostly social media and the access that everyone has to seeing everything and everywhere. Back then, everyone just waited for the video to come out, or the CD or the DVD. Otherwise, you didn't know what happened until you actually heard in the newspaper. So I have a lot of newspaper clippings of everything that happened in the pageant. And so it's definitely a different era right now, but even now it's greater. I feel like every woman has different issues that they faced. Back then, our what we faced was, I would say, wow, I'm trying to think. A lot of things we faced were uh, maybe trying to that's something that I struggled with, was the language, or trying to get people out to Samoa. Over here it's different. Right now our young women are facing social bullying, online bullying, and a lot of peer pressure and anxiety and depression. So there's a lot of different things that this generation is facing that we're trying to create programs for to hit head on. And so there's a huge difference.
Huge difference. What
Yeah.
advice would you give someone who's going to be entering the competition for Miss Samoa USA?
So my advice, again, this is the Miss South America. It's a little different because there is a Miss I'm sorry, there is a Miss Samoa USA, but it's in Vegas. Ours is different. So my advice for those that are running for the pageant, the South America, is to just be confident. A lot of women I've noticed, they are true Samoans, but they were raised here in America, and one of the things that I've noticed is they're not really strong in the language, which I myself struggled with too. And I want to tell them that the language will come. It will come when you're serving. You'll understand more if you have the desire to serve and to learn more about your heritage, and just be a representative, an ambassador for Samoa. Then you are a perfect fit. That's all we're looking for. We can vet and help teach everything else, but if you have that desire, then we'll go off of that.
I'm not sure if I'm missing something. You mentioned if you have that desire. So if I have a desire, so for an example, Jane Doe Fox, she has a desire to be a Miss Samoa, but the language, she cannot really speak the Samoan language. Um, where would she stand at that point?
So, like, for instance, when I ran, I knew a lot of the Okengia when my parents would okay me, and I knew that language, but all the other language, it actually came. The villages that I didn't, I knew I was from Nuuli, but all the other villages that my grandparents were from, I didn't know. And so I learned all of that. I learned my introduction in Samoan. And then as soon as I started living in Samoa, I was fully immersed in the country, so I could actually speak a lot more. Granted, right now it's a little different because I'm here in America, and speaking more English for work, but when I was fully immersed, it just came natural. So I feel the language has, yes, it has everything to do with Samoa, but when we're representing Samoa, our country, on a global scale, it's more important to do the universal language, which is English. And yes, we will learn Samoan, but we're trying to bring Samoa out there. We're trying to get people to know who we are, wherever we are in the world, so we can take it back to our home country and serve. That's the main point. And so that's why I feel, yes, language has a lot, but when you come on, it's fine if you don't know the language. We will teach you.
Gwendolyn, tell me again, when is the competition for the Tausala Samoa USA? When would that happen?
Sure. So it's actually July 20th is pageant night. It ends our Samoan Celebration Week. So we have Samoan Celebration Week July 13th, and it ends on July 20th. So our pageant would be held on that evening. That's when we'll crown our Miss Tausala.
So is the registration is still going on? I have to hold these things. I feel like there's some kind of echo. Is there a registration online just in case someone wants to register online? Do you have any registration online?
Yeah, so we're registering right now. We just opened up last month. We're going until the end of this month, May 30th. So it's still going on. It's still open. It's on our web Facebook page, which is Miss Tausala America, and it should be pinned in there. All you have to do is fill out an inquiry, and then we actually send out the registration packet to you.
Gwendolyn will be sending that to me, and I will go ahead and post it on our platform, so you can go and see if you wanna try for the Miss Tausala USA Samoa. And there's going to, so if they're registered now, when is the deadline for the registration?
So registration closes May 30th.
Wait, May 30th. This month. It's the first of the month.
Yep. It's been open for quite some time. So
oh yeah?
Yeah, it's been open for quite some time. So we're getting ready to close it up, but there's still time. So if you're interested, please come and register. We'd love to have you over. We're so excited with a lot of the events we have coming up.
If you are interested, so go ahead and register. She's going to send me the link, and you can go ahead and register on that link. Gwendolyn, I know our time is limited. I want to give you this moment. Go ahead and shout out and whatever you want to say to anybody, any woman out there that needs some encouragement. Probably lost, don't know what to do with life, and don't have any confidence. What would you say to them?
My advice and my shout out is to all of you young women, all of our Samoan young women. If you don't have anything that you're doing, or even if you're in school and really want to reach a higher stage, to push whatever your platform is, to really make a difference for our people on a global stage, this is for you. This is your opportunity. We are creating this so you can actually make a huge difference for us, and not just right now. This goes after, in the years to come. I mean, look at me. I am 10 years later, and I'm still trying to use this platform to try and help. And I know this will make a huge difference in your lives and the lives of your family and the generations thereafter.
Don't get me wrong, but you mentioned something about the media. We talked about the media. I started this platform when it was locked down. I started it when it was locked down. I was getting bored of it. I'm running a funeral home. But on the other side, I had another business, which is the financial center. We shut it down. So I was, there were times that I was getting bored. I'm like, what am I going to do with this Facebook? Because remember, it was shut down. We didn't, we've been locked in. I'm like, okay, let me do something. Let me really do something. So that's when I started this platform, and I love it. So like you mentioned before, this is an advantage for us to take advantage of the media right now, because a lot of people, they're posting silly stuff. They're posting picture of food. They're posting, just talking online, being silly and stuff like that. And not just that, speaking engagement, stuff like that. Anything you can just post on there, and you can really, really take advantage of the media that we have now. It's just like Gwendolyn, she's taking advantage of the media right now to reach out to millions of people, thousands of people. I mean, you can use this at your advantage. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm guilty too, because there are times that I spend so many times being nosy on the Facebook, nothing. And I literally look at myself, I'm like, wait, 2 hours pass by and all I'm doing is scrolling 2 hours? Waste of time. Like you said, prioritize. There you
Mm-hmm.
go, prioritize our time.
Right.
Again, Gwendolyn, amazing. Thank you so much. I believe that Gwendolyn, I
Thank
would
you.
like for you to come on again before
The
the
competition.
competition, closer to the competition, and maybe she'll bring Tausala, online with us that we can speak on with it. It will be great. But again, I want to thank you for taking your time to speak to us. Thank you for your wisdom, for sharing your knowledge again with us. And again, I want to thank you all for being with us and supporting this platform to reach out to somebody that's out there. And Gwendolyn, do you have anything else to say before we get off?
No, I really appreciate the time and for letting us come on your page and using your audience. It's really a pleasure for us. And yeah, if anything, I want to shout out our Tausala America. Again, if you're interested anywhere in the US, we are definitely here to stay, and we got a lot of excitement coming through, and hopefully we'll be on your next podcast, so that way we can show all of the women that we have to bring. So exciting.
Excited, excited, excited. Yay. Okay, thank you
Yes.
everyone and have a great week. Thank you, Gwendolyn. Have a great week.
Thank you. Thank you too. Paftay lava fasoy po.
Bye.